Guys, it's Wednesday. It's time to get spooky. Let's watch another Spook review, where I watch clips on YouTube, and I tell you if I think it's believable or not, or even scary, and we have a great time. Let's go.
Top 5 ghosts caught on camera. Just passing by. Facebook user Sandra Fulton Hamilton John shares a short video of her friend Jack Panera in which she believes that he accidentally captured proof of the paranormal.
He probably did.
In the video, Jack, who is deaf, is talking in sign language with his girlfriend when something unexpected makes a sudden appearance. Jack is completely unaware of the strange dark figure that quickly darts past him in the background. Even stranger, when the footage is brightened and slowed down, this figure appears to have no visible features that catch the light.
I don't know if you hear it coming through in your video. I hope you can. But every time the black figure passes by, there's like this little rumbly, kind of slightly scratchy bass sound that plays. I wonder if that was edited in by Nukes. Whoa, what have I done?
Light. So did Jack accidentally capture a ghost on camera? Or is it something else? Let me know what you think. The passenger.
That one seems more believable than most, mostly because the way the shadow thing moves, it just darts across the screen really fast. The big thing about all of these videos is it all comes down to how honest the person who's posting the video is. And that's so hard to gauge. It's almost impossible to gauge if you don't know them. I don't know this guy. It could have been edited in pretty easily. It could not have been edited in. It could be a legit clip of something. There's so many different possible explanations it could be. It's just hard to gauge sometimes, especially when there's so little detail on the figure. It's like, it's a ghost. Probably not though. All right, I don't really have any thoughts on that one. It was an interesting clip. It kind of startled me. I don't think it would convince somebody who doesn't. It wouldn't convince anybody either way. I don't think that one's changing any minds. Let's get this next clip.
Facebook user Mario Lara claims that ever since the opening of his party and event store in Guadalajara, Mexico, strange events started to take place inside his store. When he captures the alleged activity on camera and shares it to his Facebook page, his videos go viral. In fact, a short while ago, I featured the story of Mario and his store on this channel. From piñatas spinning on their own, to workers getting spooked by unexplained flying objects, to one late night when a terrifying figure seems to emerge from a pile of piñatas. And more recently...
I actually want to stop it right there. That's freaky. That is fantastically done, whoever did that. But I did see some blurring around the face moving that is indicative of editing. A little editing thing. That's something I live with video editors. That's something that they pointed out to me. So that's probably edited in. Still super creepy. Love the clip.
Mario experiences a drill starting on its own, dangerously close to his feet.
Esta es la cajita que voy a hacerle unos arreglos y todavía hay que montarla de nuevo.
And then this.
Did I miss it?
All of the bizarre activity, Mario lands on a single seemingly possessed piñata that continuously seems to move on its own.
La dejé así. Yo la dejé así. Y la dejé encerrada. Mira, vamos a ver las hijo de su puta madre.
Now, Mario says he is so terrified of the piñata that he called for a shaman to take it from him in hopes that the haunting
Okay, well, there's your first problem. When you have to deal with spirits, don't call shamans. Call priests and pastors. That's my first bit of advice. You're all gonna make things worse with a shaman. If you're even haunted at all. Like, yeah, if you're even, like, experiencing a legitimate haunting at all, you're gonna don't call a shaman. Oh my gosh.
Events in his store would stop. However, after the piñata is taken, the activity only seems to get worse. When the shaman tells Mario that he left the piñata in an abandoned car in the middle of nowhere, Mario decides to retrieve it, hoping that bringing the piñata back will actually calm down the bizarre activity in his store. He broadcasts his car drive to pick up the piñata live on his Facebook page. And of course, it did not go well.
Buenas noches a todos.
Okay, so now we're at the actual clip.
Me encuentro ahí manejando. Estoy acá por el rumbo de Tonalá. El día de hoy en la tarde me llegó un mensaje de WhatsApp donde asegura este muchacho que ya me va a entregar la piñata, pero que no me la puede dar en persona. Me dijo que la iba a encontrar dentro de un carro. Entonces estamos dándole para allá, pues.
After a long drive, he reaches his destination and leaves his vehicle in search of the abandoned car in which supposedly he can find the piñata.
Homeboy here's dumb. It's like, bro, what were you thinking?
No, me malvibro bien machiné. Sentí como que alguien me estaba siguiendo.
God, something spooky is gonna happen. I'm gonna be startled and just freak out like a little girl. Oh, bro. This is about to get dummy scary.
Está bien gacho.
Also, why are you...
Está bien empinado. Ay, ves que está bien empinado. Ay, no, está bien empinado. Ay, güey, ahí está. Ahí está.
Mario hears strange noises and feels like he's being followed, but eventually he finds the piñata. He takes it back to his car and starts his drive home. And this is when things get truly terrifying.
Estoy más o menos fuera de... Estoy lejos del periférico. Más o menos acá a la altura de Mazatlán. Hay baches, demasiados baches en este lugar. Está casi imposible de pasar.
Okay. Did Homeboy just pull out a gun? Is that what was... I think that was a gun. Oh, I don't blame Nukes for censoring it. That's totally fair. That's not the kind of content he produces. Alright, I don't know what to make of this long story. It's insane. Oh, rip his Toyota. This is cheap. That sucks. I'm sorry, bro. Okay, now why is the whole thing going pixely?
Mario hears a blood-curdling scream which shakes him up so badly that he eventually crashes his car. After he inspects the outside of his vehicle, he seems to make a run for it, and the live stream mysteriously ends. Now, what's truly creepy about this footage is something a few alert viewers pointed out in Mario's comments. You see, right before Mario hears the scream and crashes his car, something absolutely horrifying can be seen sitting right behind Mario in the back seat of his car.
Estoy más o menos fuera de... Estoy lejos del periférico.
I thought I saw that too. One pause right here. I thought I saw that too. That's probably a case of, I think it's called pareidolia, where where your brain like automatically assigns shapes and patterns when it's not there. There is nothing there. There is a pattern of color and light that happens to look like the top half of a head and maybe some eyes. It's probably like just some reflections and some weird lighting stuff. It does happen. It's not unrealistic to assume that it's nothing. I'm gonna let the clip finish.
So could it be that Mario made the wrong decision in picking up the allegedly cursed piñata that he believes caused the haunting in his store? And just what is this? You decide. If you see a video...
I guess that was the end of the clip. I'm actually gonna go ahead and go with mostly fake on this one. With the editing marks on the creepy face in that first little bit, that is spooky, don't get me wrong, but there's just a lot of elements that don't seem particularly believable about it, and I think that Mario does have some financial reasons to do that. I think it's probably helping out his store. But the big thing that makes it feel unauthentic to me is having to retrieve the doll in the middle of godforsaken nowhere. That doesn't make sense. There's no reason for that. I can't even fathom a superstitious reason for that. Maybe my knowledge of, these sort of things is just too limited and narrow, and maybe, whatever. I don't particularly care. I don't think this one's valid. I think that a lot of this stuff is easier to kind of fake than people think, because Hollywood does it all the time, no issues. And people forget that the Paranormal Activity movies were budget movies. And you can replicate that stuff without too much issue if you have the right resources. So yeah, he seems like the kind of guy who would have some of the access to some of those resources. I don't think that finding it in the middle of the woods is very convincing. Crashing the car, I guess, would be the strongest evidence for, but that could happen because he's in the middle of faking this thing, and then just he missed a pothole or whatever. There's so many logical explanations for that. The accident was probably a genuine accident, but the paranormal aspects, this one I'm not particularly convinced. Let's watch one more clip out of this, and then we'll call it a night.
That you think would be perfect for the top 5, or if you have a ghost hunting channel and you caught something great,
let's try and skip that.
Supernatural events as he can.
I went forward too much.
Terribly haunted. For over 2 years, Lee and his family have been experiencing terrifying paranormal activity in their home in Lee, England. The scary unexplained occurrences became so frequent that Lee now dedicates his YouTube channel, Really Haunted, to documenting as much of the supernatural events as he can. If Lee seems familiar, it might be because I featured a few of his creepy videos before. If you don't remember or you're new to the channel, here's a quick recap of Lee's terrifying captures in his home.
hate that. I hate that arrow. I hate that red arrow more than anything, because there is nothing there except your imagination, and you put that arrow there so that your brain just automatically puts something there. It's leading. I hate it. I hate it when these paranormal YouTubers add leading edits, like the little arrow. It frustrates me, because there is nothing there. There is a tiny shadow that could be anything. It's nice. It seems bigger on the screen that I've got the recording software open. It doesn't. I honestly didn't even notice, and I was having a hard time finding it until I paused. The reason I hate stuff like this, other than just saying I hate it over and over again, is that it's leading. It creates an expectation in your mind that you're going to see something when you're not really going to see something. And then your brain will kind of impose the created expectation, right, onto what it is that you're seeing. And it can impose patterns and things on what you're seeing that aren't really there, right? And that's what I was trying to explain with the last clip, where we saw the little blur in Mario's car. The same thing. Now that one I didn't mind as much, because I mean, I kind of saw it too for one. I was like, oh, that kind of looks like a face. Whatever. I wasn't frustrated because they didn't have the stupid leading arrow, but I hate it. I hate it when these YouTubers lead like that. It pisses me off.
And the activity hasn't stopped since.
Actually, that shadow, I think that was the cat. That shadow moved just like a cat.
One night, after Lee nods off to sleep on the couch in the living room, he captures something on camera once again. All of it while
Did Buddy piss his wife off? Because, like, in the other shots, he's got his girl in his bed, but he was on the couch.
Fast asleep and completely oblivious to the creepy events happening around him.
Yeah.
A teddy bear sitting in the corner of the living room gets violently thrown into the air at incredible speed.
Okay, noobs. Thanks for treating us like children. We all saw it. You didn't have to point it out.
And lands on the floor off camera. Then, as Lee is still fast asleep on the couch, something slowly pulls down his cover. As a very deep sleeper, Lee says that he had no idea what was happening in the same room with him late that night. He only discovered the shocking activity when he looked back at the CCTV footage. Another night, and Lee and his wife are fast asleep in bed at 4 a.m. They capture something again. Something truly bizarre and a bit disturbing. A white translucent mist-like shape slowly creeps into frame, seemingly hovering over the sleeping and defenseless couple. Then the shape slowly vanishes just as mysteriously as it appeared. Lee believes it was a ghost that was watching them as they slept, the same ghost that has been terrorizing the family over the course of 2 years. So, what do you think? Is it real? You decide. You can check out Lee's YouTube channel for more creepy videos at Really Haunted. Meanwhile,
all right, we're gonna end on that clip for now. I'll probably pick up on the next video right here. Man, I'm just on a skeptical mood tonight. I didn't find any of these very convincing. Poltergeist stuff is easy enough to fake that I'm not particularly convinced by. It can still be scary, and fun to watch, but it's very doable. It's easy to fake and make it look super convincing. You don't need like a super big special effects budget to do it. You don't need to use computer tricks. There's a lot of really simple things you can do. Obviously, this guy's uploading it to YouTube. YouTube's a good way to make. I mean, it was a good way to make money. It's not a good way to make money now. But YouTube was a good way to make money if you started uploading then, or you could still be uploading to make money now. I'm not particularly convinced by it. Some of the clips were spooky. The white mist was probably just like a little piece of dust that happened to like float into the camera and then get blown away by the wind or the fan. And everyone's like, oh, but then why was he captured? Okay, well, because he records every single night. That's the point of his channel, is that he records all the security stuff and then he goes back and watches it, and then one night a little dust particle happened to fall in front of the camera. Like, it's really not that improbable for a naturalist explanation to happen the one night, right? Come on, guys. It's just like use your brains. Anyway, sorry, I'm really tired. I've been procrastinating on recording these. But yeah, we'll call it a night. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you did enjoy. Please remember to like and subscribe and share and hit the notification bell, and especially share it on Facebook if you watch there. I'm really grateful to everyone. I know that most of the audience right now are like personal friends. I don't know if there's anyone out there who's watching my channel that isn't. If you're not, please leave a comment. It'd be really cool to interact with you. And I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts too. I know that there's going to be a lot of people who think I'm always wrong. There's going to be a lot of people who think I'm always right. There's going to be a lot of people in between. So I'd like to hear your thoughts. Have an excellent evening.